My unit, salute, amped up Saturday, the 18th of January, featuring the SmackDown review for 117.25. Full disclosure, full transparency, it is actually Friday evening as of this recording. SmackDown just went live. So this is going to be a different type of a review because we're going to be reviewing this in real time, not live. It was a little too late to set up a live. That would have been cool. But the next best thing, man, real-time review. So after every segment, when they hit commercial, BC's going to give you his thoughts. No notes. We're just going to give you real-time thoughts, man. So this may be very amplified. I'm most likely going to have a lot to say, but hopefully it's more in the positive realm, right? We're starting the show with Rey Mysterio. I don't know what that says. January 2025, Ray starting the show. It was a very odd start, too, because Tessa Torre and Wade Barrett were walking through the corridors. You know that long one-cam steady shot they usually do for the wrestlers, usually like a Sami Zayn or Jey Uso? They did that for the announcers, for the commentary team. That was very odd. What are they, the rock stars of the show? That was very odd. But I guess they're trying some new stuff. So no harm, no foul. Congrats for trying something new. I'll always be an advocate for that. I don't think that was a success, though. I think we can do without that. But, guys, after this first segment, we're going to come right back. You guys don't have to do anything through the magic of YouTube, snap of a finger. All you got to do is get your beverages ready. Snap of a finger, we'll be right back, and I will tell you my Amplify thoughts on segment 1, how we started this show, what's the feel, what's the vibe of this show. We'll go over all of it, and we'll just continue to do that. Unfortunately, it's 3 hours. That's usually a chore to get through. But hopefully it's a fun 3 hours, man. If the show has a good feel, a good groove, good momentum, and there's a good flow, then the 3 hours will go by like that. Snap of a finger, blink of an eye. And if done correctly, we'll want more. That's usually not the case. And by the end of hour 1, we're looking at our watches, right? Is it over yet? But we'll see, man. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to listen to Ray. I'm going to listen to the first segment. We'll see what they got brewing. Hopefully this first segment has something to do with the rest of the show, right? A good cliffhanger at the end. Hopefully it pumps up the Rumble, pumps up Saturday night's main event. There's a lot of business that needs to be attended to in this show. A lot of business has to come from this show. So this is where Hunter has to be rolling on all cylinders. So magic of YouTube, you guys don't got to do nothing. I'm going to snap my fingers. We will talk about segment 1 right now. All right, guys, so segment 1 just came to its conclusion 15 minutes into this show, and it was Rey Mysterio and Kevin Owens having a face-to-face back-and-forth promo. Kevin Owens just flipping out, saying he's the real champion. He has the title that all of his heroes had and held and defended, so that makes him the real champion. Rey Mysterio pissed him off by saying, well, not so Cody's the real champion. And that pissed off Kevin Owens, and Ray's like, chill. And Kevin's like, no. And Ray's like, dude, you're acting like my son Dominic right now. Like, relax. That pissed off KO. Went to hit him with the Winged Eagle Championship. Ray ducks. Sets him up for the 619, but KO is able to escape. And that was the segment, guys. So I'm guessing they're going to have a match later in the night. Okay, you'll know in this review, that's for sure. But that's what I mean. This is in real time, so I'm trying to follow along. I'm guessing in a segment or two, probably Nick Aldis is going to declare this a matchup, or maybe they save it for Saturday night's main event. Either way, that was your first segment, so it wasn't bad. The promo wasn't bad, but I don't know if that's enough to get you amped up for 3 hours of SmackDown tonight. Ray and KO, and leading to a Ray KO match. That's my amplified honesty with you guys, man. You know what I mean? If I'm rating that a 1 to 10, I'd give it maybe a 4. And then we went backstage with Naomi and Bianca Belair. They're getting set for the first matchup of the night, which is Nia Jax and Candice LeRae versus Nene and Bianca. So they're backstage, and Naomi is requesting that Bianca wraps up the pony, right? So Bianca's wrapping up. She's like, all right, she's contained because Naomi doesn't want the same thing that happened last week that cost her that matchup to happen again. So Bianca was apologizing. So it looks like subtly there is some tension there. And then we went to commercial break. So there's your first 15 minutes, man. You tell me if that sounds like captivating television enough to amp you up for the next 2 hours and 45 minutes. So same thing like we just did, man. I'll snap and we'll come right back. And when BC's talking to you again, this first matchup will be over. Segment 2. And we'll talk about it real quick while we're still in commercial. Shout out to Jimmy Fingers 19, by the way, OG of the channel. Massive support on yesterday's upload, talking TNA versus NXT, WWE, and their new partnership with TNA. It has to be leading, obviously, to like a When Worlds Collide type PLE pay-per-view, TNA versus NXT. And Jimmy Fingers sending out that sentiment that I'm hearing echoed by many fans, and that is Jimmy Fingers stopped watching AEW approximately 6 months ago and started watching TNA. And I'm just curious, I know a lot of you guys have said that. Is that something that is TNA better than AEW? And if so, how do you get more eyeballs to give them a chance? Oh, hold on. Ray just got a match, I'm guessing, with KO. Tonight. So that match just Nick, I was just saying that, wasn't I? I said probably in a segment or two, Nick Aldis will declare this a match. We just got back from break. Nick Aldis has just told Ray he gets a match with KO. So I don't know if that's worth waiting 3 hours for, guys, but should be a good match, I think, at least. Aldis is talking to Cody Rhodes. Cody is telling him he's got a clean bill of health. He's good to go for the Rumble. So Aldis is telling Cody that he has a little bit of an asterisk in the contract for the Royal Rumble. He versus Kevin Owens. He wants Cody to sign it and KO. Cody is reluctant to sign it, gives it back to Nick Aldis. So we'll follow along. I don't know what that's all about. But so back to what Jimmy Fingers were saying. And 6 months in, or 6 months ago, stopped watching AEW, kind of went over to TNA. I've been hearing that a lot. If that is the case for many, which I am hearing, how do you bring more eyeballs? I guess this pay-per-view would do it. NXT versus TNA. I mean, that's the one big play that would set TNA off to the races. If anything's going to do it, it would be an event like that. So that's where this would truly benefit TNA, because most of this is going to benefit WWE NXT, right? Any big name that they do have, any position that they want to position a talent in TNA, you know WWE is going to get them. How much big talent is going to go to TNA? So far, we haven't seen many. So we'll see. That's another subject, though, but I just wanted to give a massive shout out to Jimmy Fingers 19, and it does open up such an awesome discussion of should TNA be involved in the discussions of NXT and AEW. And with this new partnership, maybe it will begin to be such. Jimmy Fingers 19, thanks, man. I'm going to watch this matchup, Nene and Bianca versus Candy and Nia, segment 2. Snap my fingers. We'll come right back. We'll talk about it. All right, so segment 2 just finished up. Naomi and Bianca Belair defeating Nia Jax and Candy LeRae. Candy LeRae defeated, pinned by Naomi. And there was no tension in this match. Just Bianca Belair and Naomi raising their hands together. So looks like there is no tension. Forget what I said in the last segment. In fact, they're going on January 28th to Atlanta, NXT on the CW to take on Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. So there you go. looks like they're back on the same page until they find out that one of them may have attacked Jade Cargill. Some people think it's Bianca Belair, but wasn't Bianca wrestling when they found out Jade was attacked? So you're telling me she did that beforehand? Nobody found Jade for like 20 minutes? So if anybody, it would have to be Naomi. I'm not totally sold on that idea, by the way. But this match was pretty decent, actually. All four ladies worked well. Naomi continues to be just even over 10 years in WWE, and she still has not lost a step. Naomi is just so damn good. That's what I gathered from this matchup. Just Naomi just steals the show time after time. Bianca is so damn good as well. But just to see Naomi just still so flawless. The aerial game, the technician, everything about Naomi's game has not taken a step backwards. Bianca is still so good. The timing with Bianca is that's the one area she has not corrected yet. She always is. She's trying to set up everything, and she's trying to coach who she's in there with. Like, come on, like, I can't explain it. She's setting up too much. It's like, calm it down. Take a step. Know who you're in there with, right? If Nia takes 2 to 3 extra beats, sell what you're doing. Wait the 2 to 3 beats with her. Don't already be ready to rock 2 to 3 beats before Nia. Or even Candy, or whoever you're in there with, right? Bianca is always thinking 5 steps ahead. That's good a lot of the times. And a lot of the times, it's just going to make things look weird. So, that's an amplified critique. That's what BC can offer, man. I've been in those rings. I got friends traveling the world as I speak, busting their asses in there. You got to know, just learn who you're in there with, right? And you're going to have to find that common ground. You're going to have to gel. You're going to be, right? It's a dance. It takes 2 to tango. But you always just can't be anticipating what's next or just in your own zone. You got to expand your zone, and you have to let those dancing partners in. Hope that makes sense. So Bianca will come along possibly, although it's the same thing I saw years ago. She's still doing it today. As far as Nia continues to do very well. This run has easily been her best. Old school Nia Jax was just not good. This Nia Jax, she's not just hanging, she's showing you that she belongs. I love when I see these wrestlers improve, man. And you can say what you want about Nia, but she has absolutely improved. Candy LeRae, Candy LeRae she's all right. She's been doing this so long. She coaches a lot of other females, and I don't know. I'll just leave it at that. Candy LeRae was in this match. I don't know what you want me to say, man. She doesn't jump off the screen to BC at all. She's, I don't know. Maybe she will one day. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what you want me to say. Give her a good storyline, and maybe BC will be fully on board. Without a story, this is just looking at the roster. There's a plethora of females I would put way before Candy LeRae in terms of driving emotion out of me, or being excited or intrigued with what they're doing, or watching them in the ring for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. So that's my assessment on this matchup and breaking down each of these ladies. It was hilarious. The little graphic for SmackDown on USA said Bianca Belair. They left out the C, so it was Bianca. And it was hilarious. I could have sworn I heard Joe Tessitore go, Bianca. So it's like Ron Burgundy. You put it up on the teleprompter, and Burgundy just spits it out, right? So fuck you, San Diego. And Burgundy's like, and that's it for good night. That's it for tonight. Good night. And fuck you, San Diego. And everyone's like, Ron, what did you do? He looks at it and he goes, Bianca Belair. And then you got Wade Barrett 1,000 times in this match. What's he call her? Bianca? Because of his accent. So it's Bianca. And I'm like, it's not Bianca. Stop. Oh my God. Once or twice. All right. Wade Barrett said Bianca 8,412 times. Why did that just perturb me? Probably because I heard it 8,000 212 times. What else in this match, guys? What else? Like I said, no tension, so forget what I said in the earlier segment in this on this review, because I thought there was some tension probably in that promo that they cut backstage, but no, they're rocking on all cylinders. They're taking on Lash and Jackson on the 28th down in NXT. So we'll see, man. Jade Cargill is imminent, though. She's been working at the PC. They really want her just to get better. She's still so green in so many areas, and that's what she's doing. It's not about injury or time off. She's at the PC. She's training. She's trying to get better. So when she comes back, they can really ignite a singles run. But you can't do that if she's not ready. So they're really trying to get her ready. What else? That's it. So Seg 3 is already over as well, because that tag match leaked into Seg 3. Then we had Bayley being interviewed by Byron Saxton in an empty arena before the show, just talking about what the title would mean to her defeating Tiffany later in the night. And then we just went to another commercial. So when we come back, I believe we're going to end hour number 1, because we're already into Q4, which is going to end hour number 1. So that's where we're at. I want to give a couple more shout outs. I forgot to do this in the last segment here in this upload. We sent a shout out over to OG Jimmy Fingers 19. Also, though, some support to the channel, and yesterday, or at least the last couple of uploads through the super thanks option, chucking coffees at the channel. LOL. I appreciate that. LOL. AJ Lee is coming back. It's not a matter of if, it's when. Possibly even at the Rumble. But you will see AJ Lee back. That's for sure. And I appreciate the kind words. Thanks for checking out the channel for as long as you have, man. Appreciate the support big time. And Unique Butterfly. Unique. Listen, Rico, man, if he can learn, if he can get better on this microphone, we know he's got the talent. You give him a storyline, BC is fully on board. So ain't no shame supporting Rico, let me tell you. We know he's got the talent. I need him to get better on the mic, though. I need a good storyline for him, and then I can get behind it. But I cannot stop calling him the substitute teacher of AEW, because that's just what he reminds me of now. He's a little dude. He's got his little tight suit on. He's got his glasses, and now he carries scissors in his little pencil pocket. His little scissors, or his big scissors. It's like a substitute teacher. Not even just the actual teacher. The substitute, right? He's the guy, like, you go into class, you see the TV, and you know you got a substitute. And here walks in Ricochet. All right, class, we're going to be watching Dazed and Confused today. Yes! Rico, the substitute teacher. But, yeah, man, listen, I think he's on to something here. If he can just captivate us with the microphone, if Tony Khan can keep this story fresh, organic, and rocking, maybe we're on to something here. But he's still the substitute teacher of AEW. All right, guys. Melo is on the mic right now. He's about to have a match with Jimmy Uso. I'm going to do my due diligence, watch this amplified style, and then give you guys an amplified review on it. My amplified thoughts in real time right now. All right, guys, so a lot just happened over the last 2 segments. We are currently in Q6, into hour number 2, Q6, 9:16 p.m. Eastern Time. And we are about to have a Motor City versus Angel and Humberto tag match. But a really good last 20 some odd minutes. Jimmy Uso and Carmelo Hayes. That was a botch, and I'll tell you why. It was really good. I almost can't even blame Hunter Helmsley, because I doubt he knew it would be that good. But I have to blame him, because you still put that on with no story behind it. You could have taken Melo and Jimmy Uso, and you could have put a story with it. Carmelo could have absolutely used something right now to boost him, to say the least, man. There was a funny moment where he was on the mic before the match, and he said, "Melo don't miss," his catchphrase. And literally, Tessitore had to call him out. Joe Tessitore's like, well, wait, I will have to say, he's been missing a lot lately. And he said it twice. So Melo could absolutely use some type of program. And Jimmy Uso just got back. Jey Uso, his brother, is getting all of these big-time spots. and Jimmy Uso could use something to that nature, a program, just like Melo would have helped. And knowing what we know now and how good they work together, man, this could have been something special. The good news is that this matchup ended in a DQ because Jacob Fatu and Tonga hit the ring and attacked Jimmy Uso. So technically, there was no decisive finish. Yes, Jimmy Uso takes the W via DQ. Melo once again loses a match, but there was no decisive clean victor. So you could technically have a rematch between the two, and I would be okay with it. And maybe this is the opportunity for Hunter Hearst Helmsley to put a story with it, right? Before they have the, don't just throw them out there next week or real quick at Saturday night's main event, which is still next week, next Saturday, but or next Friday night or in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Put a story with this, man, and have them face each other down the line. But this was good. Jimmy Uso and Carmelo Hayes, they work really well together. We did not have a decisive winner. We can run this back. I'm not a fan of rematches just for the sake of rematches, but there'd be reasoning for this. And both could really use a story, a program. Why not do it together? So what I loved about this last 20-some-odd minutes is they centered it around Fatu and Tonga. And I love that, man. It's like you're watching a Broadway performance or a really good show where you're just letting things breathe with the characters. Too many times, all the time, we're just seeing match after match after match, promo, match. One thing after the other just to fit a lot of talent on these shows, right? We have to try to fit as many people as we can because we have a roster of 8,000. And usually you're just seeing one thing after the other, so nothing is digesting. Usually there's no good creative behind any of it. And when the show's done, you're like, what did we just watch? A whole lot of nothing. But this, they just centered about 3 segments, or at least 2.5, around Tonga and Fatu in like 3 separate things, but they all tie into each other. And that's just what we ask, man. Just take one thing and just spend 20, 25, 30 minutes on it. I always said you don't need a roster of 8,000. You need a roster of about 50 dudes and gals, collectively, and you just give them stories. And if you're doing it correctly, we'll spend 20, 25, 30 minutes on 2 dudes or 2 gals. We really will, man. And this was perfect. So Tonga and Fatu come out. They take out Jimmy Uso. Carmelo thinks he's buddies with him, so he's tapping Fatu on the chest, like, yeah, good job, man. Fatu just levels this dude with a clothesline, lays some more bows into him. And then Fatu just hits the corner and puts his ass into freaking Jimmy Uso's face. And every time he hits the turnbuckle, you just hear like a Mack truck hitting a wall. That's how hard Fatu is hitting the corner. And he's just throwing his weight into Jimmy Uso. So then Solo Sikoa comes back. He returns. Solo comes out. We go to commercial break. When we come back, he's not feeling the booze and the fuck you Solos. So he just takes off through the crowd. Solo is gone. Fatu's pissed off because Tonga and Fatu are left in the ring with their leader. Just leaves. Felt disrespected. So Fatu grabs the microphone. Fatu's flipping out. I don't even understand the dude. Or he's in left field with a hockey stick. He's talking about, like, I don't care if you boo. Or he says, I give a damn. I think he meant, I don't give a damn. But that's the way he talks. He says, I give a damn if you boo. I give a damn if you cheer. He goes, y'all think I'm crazy, that I've lost it, that I'm unhinged. The funny thing about all this is I'm just getting started, he says. And it was so good. And then LA Knight's music hits. So now we're going into a whole nother thing with still Fatu and Tonga as the centerpiece. LA Knight hits the ring, gains the upper hand at first, but the numbers game prevails until Braun Strowman hits the ring. Fatu's not running. Fatu's ready to rock with Strowman. Think about that. Think about these 2 gargantuans. Fatu's ready to rock. Braun's decisively bigger. Braun rips his shirt off. Braun's ready to go. We look like they're about to throw bows, and Tonga takes out the legs of Fatu to get him out of the ring. So we saved the physicality. Save that. I love that. Don't let him go now, man. Build that suspense. And then we finally went to a commercial break after all of that. So literally the last 25 minutes just centering around this run-on story with Tonga and Fatu. Starting with the Jimmy Uso and Carmelo's match, going into Solo's return, and then going into LA Knight and Braun Strowman hitting the ring. So I just love when that's a television show. That's all I've asked since I've had this channel creatively for the past 5 to 6 years, whatever it's been. This is what I've been asking for. It's a television show, guys. You can have all the flips and dives and rate your stars, right? Get a 25-minute classic and rate it 5 stars. That's not pro wrestling. It's larger than life characters. It's storylines that captivates us, and it's feuds that we want to pay for to see the culmination at a pay-per-view. Because we want that special event. We want to be able to pay our money to know that it's special. But too many times we're just trying to fill these shows with a bunch of wrestlers and a bunch of random stuff. That was so good, man. It's like, where is that? You know, you're in the creative boardroom and you're going over the show and you're like, what if we just, like, for 25 minutes just have Fatu and Tonga out there? 3 separate things over the course of a couple of commercial breaks. And Hunter's like, it's 3 hours anyway. We have nothing to lose. No, you don't. You only have everything to gain with something like that. I just loved it. I was just into all of it. Take your wrestlers, which are television characters, whether you like it or not, and utilize them as such. Build around them. Tell us stories, man. They can go multiple commercial breaks, come back, the same characters are out there. We'll be okay with it. If it's done correctly, we'll be captivated by it. I can't praise it enough, guys. We're already into the Berto and Garza versus Motor City matchup, obviously, because I've been blabbing about how much I've enjoyed this, but I don't get to do that often on these shows, right? I'm usually not this amped up in excitement or speaking this positively because there's usually nothing this positive or excited to be such about. So I had to take a few more minutes, guys, on this Friday night. By the time you guys catch it again, Saturday. But on this Friday night, I had to take a few minutes to say salute. Everybody that, for Hunter to approve it, whoever the writers were to come up with the idea and for the execution of it. All of that was really well done. So that's what do I want to stay recording for the rest of this match, or do I think if it's going to take a while? No, you know what? I'm going to do my due diligence. I want to make sure that I'm catching this full throttle for you guys. Who's that? Referee Jess is calling this matchup too. So this is a matchup I'm not too... it's Garza and Humberto versus Motor City. But I don't know. Maybe they'll carry momentum from the last couple of segments. I'll do my due diligence, guys. Snap my fingers. We'll come right back. We'll talk about this. And if I decide to let it go another segment, we'll talk about whatever's after that as well. Referee Jess is already going to the black box. Are they going to end this matchup, or are we going to commercial? We might be going to commercial. Hold on. Wait. Now they're posing. I bet you we're going to commercial. 3, 2, 1. I called it. Commercial break. So I'm going to stop the recording now, though. We'll come right back when this matchup is done. We'll talk about it. All right, so a little time has passed. We're currently at the top of the third hour. Kevin Owens versus Rey Mysterio is starting this hour. We just came back from commercial break, so it's the second half of KO and Rey Mysterio. I'll be keeping a key eye on this second half of the match, but I want to go over a couple of matches that have happened since. Motor City defeated Humberto and Garza. There was some interference from Pretty Deadly, which was pretty stupid. It did absolutely nothing. They attacked the faces, and nothing happened. They attacked the faces, Motor City, and then moments later, Motor City is winning the match. So that was like a weird way to just use Pretty Deadly. Like Hunter just bumped into him backstage, and we're like, hey, just go out there and do something. It won't affect the match at all. It'll make you look pretty stupid, but... go out there. It was weird. And when Motor City won the match, about 6 people clapped. A little bit of a golf clap. So I don't know what their plan is with Motor City. They debut almost instantly. They win championships. They don't get the desired reaction they were hoping for. So then they lose the championships weeks later. Now they're winning just random, irrelevant matchups. I don't blame the audience for not being excited or amplified for this W. What is a Motor City? If you're not a fan, like a lot of you guys in BC that knows about Motor City, knows their history, know they're not spring chickens, they're not no rookies. That's one thing, right? And we know the talent that they possess. But for the average fan, not even just the casual, but the average fan, why are they investing or getting amplified for Motor City? What's the reasoning? We understand they have talent in the ring. Most wrestlers today have talent in the ring. What's taking it to the next level? There's been no reason given. They win championships when they first arrive. Was that supposed to make everybody go, damn, that's it, to the promised land? Let's cheer them like the Rockers or the Hart Foundation. No, it's going to take more than that. A quick video package? Have we even seen one? Maybe we did weeks ago. I don't know. Maybe when they first arrived after the second week, maybe we got a video package. But I don't recall such. But it's going to take more than video. There has to be reasoning. Hunter has to take a beat, take a breath, and think about this. What are you doing with Motor City? Otherwise, most of the audience that doesn't know too much about them or doesn't care to do their research, they just care about the now and what's going to be. They're just seeing two average size small dudes, even small dudes, and they're not oozing charisma and uber personality. That may seem harsh. I respect the heck out of the dudes, you know that. I know the talent they possess, but I also know why they're getting a golf clap after irrelevant matchups like this. That's an issue. Hunter has to take a moment. What are we doing with Motor City? And the whole tag division is just a mess. So while he's at it, you may want to think, how do I make a relevant division? I have really good tag teams. I just don't have a division anybody cares about. And then we saw Piper Niven defeat B-Fab. B-Fab held her own. She's going to be the butt of a lot of jokes, and a lot of people are going to try to rip this apart because of B-Fab. B-Fab held her own. Chelsea Green never was a real threat in this match. B-Fab made it a point to go after Chelsea, as a matter of fact. Clothesline her from the apron. Chelsea was not getting involved. And when B-Fab came back in, she got squashed by Piper Niven, literally and figuratively. 1, 2, 3. Piper wins the matchup. Post-match, Meechin comes out with a kendo stick and takes out Piper Niven. Chelsea Green, with no heels, no shoes on, tries to escort Piper Niven up the rampway while talking crap to Meechin. So I feel like we're running in circles. We're still stuck with this Meechin, Chelsea, Meechin, and now Piper thing. The only difference is now Meechin has a buddy, B-Fab. So are we going to see a bunch of tag team matchups? This is what I mean. Hunter has to be careful of, are we extending a storyline or are we just going in circles? Right? Because if you're just having a bunch of matches and a bunch of random interactions with the same individuals, that doesn't make it a storyline. And by the way, just like Motor City didn't get the reaction that I'm sure Hunter was hoping for in their matchup, same thing with Meechin's run-in. Nobody seemed to have cared. Nobody cared that Meechin was in there with a kendo stick chasing off the heels. Just saying, these are things that you're doing the same thing every week, but you're not listening to the audience. You're not seeing what's working and what's not. Do that. So these were two things that kind of, it took the gusto out of the crowd. The crowd's been pretty damn good most of the night. These two matches kind of took them out of it. From what it looks like, Ray and KO are kind of bringing them back. It looks to be a good match. The first half definitely was. While I was going over the past couple of matchups, they've been lighting up the ring. The crowd, a lot of them are on their feet right now going to town as a 619 was just hit. And while this match continues, I do want to also say at the beginning of this review, I said it's kind of odd, right? Ray and KO randomly face-to-face starting this 3-hour show. And now I understand a little bit more. It is the 619, right? It's Ray's home, so they really wanted to start it that way. I totally get it. KO just got the pin, by the way. I'm going to cover that in a second. I'll cover this exactly what happened. The crowd is just like pissed because it's 6-1. It's Ray's home, so they're extra pissed off. We'll get to that in a second. But so I understand why they wanted to start with Ray. Where I'm coming from, though, is you do have the Rumble coming up in a couple weeks. You have Saturday night's main event next week. It's WrestleMania season. All the things you should be starting off with. and kicking us off to get us into the mode of all of these big events. And you start off with a random face-to-face of KO and Ray Ray, just because it's Ray Ray's hometown. So I still stick with that sentiment, but I understand it a little bit. You know what I mean? You want to get that big pop, and Ray Ray will get that. And you build it for 2 hours, and then you have KO beat him. That'll really get KO some heat, and that's what just happened. I believe it was, what they just showed the replay, right? Pop-up powerbomb? Yeah, I don't think it was I think it was the pop-up powerbomb. But either way, KO just defeated Ray Ray. He just shook Ray Ray's hand. Why is Ray shaking his hand, bro? Yeah, I don't blame that at all. KO was shaking his hand, and Ray Ray was like shaking it back. Like, really, bro? Bo Owens. There you go. His brother, Bo Owens. So he's shaking his hand, and Ray Ray's shaking it back. And then KO's like, nah, kicks him right in the gut and goes to deliver a package pile driver. But Cody Rhodes just came out. Cody in a tracksuit, not his 5-piece suit, thankfully. Cody left the 5-piece and the tie and all of that in the back. Cody's in a tracksuit. He just hit the ring. It's a KO Cody brawl. When's the last time we saw a KO Cody brawl, man? Oh, yeah, every single show. This is kind of hilarious. They're literally brawling again. That's all. Hunter is creatively bankrupt with KO and Cody. He has nothing. There's no story. It's just brawl. Next week, brawl. If we need you on Raw, brawl. If we need you on Saturday night's main event, brawl. KO's in the crowd hoisting enough suits and ties. Referees broke him up. Security's out there. Owens is in the crowd hoisting up his Winged Eagle Championship. Cody's in the ring, furious and amplified. I can't believe I can actually. They did it again. They did a brawl. At this point, I think they're just like having fun with everybody because now we're all pretty much making fun of it. So I think this is Hunter just going, listen, if everyone's having fun with it anyway, just have them brawl. We just went to a commercial, guys. So you're not missing anything else. Well, I'm treating this like it's a live stream now, a watch along. You guys are watching this the next morning. What am I talking about? But we just went to commercial. So yeah, that's the... I love how they did that, right? Pump up the hometown boy Ray Ray and then just have him get beat. Get some of that heel heat for Kevin Owens. So that will really pump up the ovation for Cody when he does the save. And that leads us to a redundant brawl. So yeah, a couple more segments left in this show, about a good 40 minutes. The finish will be given to the main event of Tiffany, Stratton, and Bayley, guys. So again, I'm going to check out for now. Go fire up another coffee from the Amplified Monster 5000 coffee machine. And when we come back, I might just wrap it up with one more cut. I don't think there's going to be any more edits after this, man. I'm going to wrap up the next 40 minutes and give you guys the final totality of a review of SmackDown 117.25. Are they going to end strong? There was a couple of high points tonight, a lot of low points. The last 40 minutes will decide if this was a good SmackDown or not. Hopefully the boys and gals deliver. We'll see what they got next, and then we'll hit up the main event. Let's do it. Oh, she's coming back. Charlie Flair, man. They just announced a few minutes ago, Charlie Flair. They didn't say when, but they just played this whole video package. I thought at first it was for Tiffany Stratton before she came down for her match. But no, it's Charlie Flair. It's not just her athletic ability or her matches, her talent in the ring. Looks like they're really trying to show the sex appeal as well. Almost like a little bit of Tiffany Stratton. So they're headed that way, man. Whether it's right from the jump or they wait a little bit. But you're going to get Tiffany Stratton and Charlie Flair. I really hope it's not Charlie taking the title from Tiffany, but it looks that way. Just the way that they're presenting Charlie. The last segment we just did, I said there was 40 minutes left in the show. Guys, 20 of that 40 minutes was spent just with filler. Just showing this Charlie Flair video package. And then Hunter Helmsley doing a WrestleMania promo vid. I just don't understand. First, let me just say there's 9 minutes left in this show now. Bayley is taking on Tiffany as we speak. It's a picture-in-picture commercial break. So I'm keeping a keen eye on this matchup. but it's the last 9 minutes of this match, the last 9 minutes of the show. But again, that 20 minutes of filler was, again, the Charlie Flair video package, a couple of commercials, and then Hunter Helmsley doing this WrestleMania promo video package, hyping up WrestleMania. And it's a legit like a commercial style. And I said this a million times recently. Where is he finding the time? This is Hunter on the clock. And all he's doing is just being in front of the camera or doing voiceovers, right? For all the PLEs overseas, here in the States, doesn't matter if it's a Saturday night's main event, a WrestleMania, Survivor Series, Rumble, it doesn't matter. It is all Hunter, Hunter, Hunter. Just, there's more Hunter Helmsley on our TVs today than there was in the Attitude Era. I don't know what this dude's issue is with needing the spotlight. Give it to your wrestlers. You guys don't understand how much time it takes to do these little promos, these commercials, these voiceovers. You may just see 30 seconds or 2 minutes here and there. It takes half a day to a full day for each one. You have to get the right lighting. You have to do it in several areas and takes. You have to have different dialogues. You have to do those dialogues in different ways. A good director is going to keep you there hours on end to film the right promo ad, the right commercial, even voiceovers. It takes hours upon hours. Is that the best use of his time? He's the chief content officer, chief of creative. Spend all of that time off of the camera, off of the microphone, and start dedicating more time to creative. We will get a better show / shows with an S, I should say. We'll get better shows. We'll get a better product. You guys know I'm right. This has to stop, man. I can't believe he was doing this whole commercial for WrestleMania. What the average new fan, the families, the kids that certainly weren't around in the Attitude Era, they don't care about the chief content officer. Put Cody Rhodes or CM Punk or LA Knight in those roles more. They should be the faces of your company, not the chief content officer whose heyday was 2 decades ago. It's got to stop, man. I could see if the creative was off the chart and we're getting the best product imaginable, but we're not. That's just the truth. Nice swanton there by Tiffany, by the way. Powerbomb. Follows that swanton up, but Bayley kicks out at 2 7/10 with 6 minutes left in this show. A lot of people are pretty much taking what happened on Tuesday night with Bayley showing up on NXT and taking out Rok-C. A lot of people are thinking maybe now Rok-C will retaliate 3 days later. It's just so weird. That would be so random for Rok-C to show up on a random SmackDown, take out Bayley. But then again, it was random Tuesday for Bayley just to show up and start this weird thing with Rok-C. So I feel bad for whoever took like a vacation this past weekend and they're coming back tonight or this weekend. And they're like, wait, Rok-C and Bayley, what? Because Bayley just showed up Tuesday and then Rok-C delivers the receipt 3 days later. All of this happens within just days. I'm not a fan of this feud wherever it does go, whether Rok-C shows up here or Bayley goes back to NXT. So I'm not a big fan of this either way. I just don't understand why Bayley is in this matchup because Tiffany has so much response in a positive way. Oh, there it. Rok-C, front row. I was just talking about it. 10:55 p.m. Eastern time. Rok-C just appeared. So Rok-C is there front row. Not a huge pop. A lot of these fans probably don't watch NXT. Then again, Rok-C is so small. Maybe they don't really. Maybe a lot of the fans don't. Can't even see Rok-C. Rok-C is one of my favorites. Roxanne Perez to a lot of you guys. Rok-C always to me. If you know, you know. But Rok-C is one of my favorites in this industry. So this is a big, big moment. I don't understand the Bayley thing. I don't think it's the right fit. I don't think they're going to have the right chemistry. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but we'll see. We'll see if she gets, she must be getting involved in this. What I was saying before is I just don't understand. Tiffany's got such a good reaction. Bayley's going to get split here, right? Bayley's going to be the odd one out. So that's why these face versus face, even though Tiffany's not full-fledged face, I guess you could say, after last week, this isn't the match that I would book. But yeah, so Charlie Flair's coming back. We had that, and then Hunter Helmsley just doing another huge WrestleMania commercial. I can't believe that's all this guy does with his time. He's like, how can I get on camera? The ego has to subside, man. You have to put your wrestlers in these ads, these promos, these commercials. Sell your product. It can't. Oh, that was a near fall by Bayley, man. Tiffany got that up at 2 9/10. You can't constantly be the face of the company, dude. 50-something years old. You got a gimmick in your chest, the pacemaker. You can't go anyway. And you're over there pushing Kevin Owens in storylines when it should be a Nick Aldis at that Saturday night's main event, was it? I think that's when Nick Aldis should have been in that position. You have Hunt. I've said this like a broken record, but I keep seeing this dude on commercials and keep filming new stuff. Stop it. Please stop it. That's my rant. Somebody has to get Hunter's ego in check. It's a runaway trade, man. He just has to be the face of this era. It's wild, dude. Wild. I was saying that about Tony Khan for a while in AEW. Like, stop doing all the interviews. Let your talent do them. Bayley drops Tiffany on her dome piece. 2 4/10. Tiffany gets it up. 2.5 minutes left in this show, guys. 2.5 minutes. So clearly, I'm staying with you guys for this entire last segment of this review. 2 minutes now. Just under 2 minutes left in this show. Rok-C is front row. Roxanne Perez. So when you saw Bayley show up Tuesday and you remember that Bayley has this title match, a lot of us were kind of going toward that way. It's odd. This is not exactly where I would put in Rok-C, and by that reaction, I was right. There was better ways to do this. Tiffany hit that Alabama slam. I think she's going for the prettiest. She hit it. Prettiest moonsault. Could it be a clean victory? 1. Clean victory 2. Clean victory 3. She beat her clean. Wow. Rok-C was right there to kind of save face for Bayley, right? Have an out. I lost, but I didn't lose clean. But this is the company saying we do want to give that rocket to Tiffany. And the rocket doesn't always just mean the championship. The rocket is good booking, right? Strong booking. Well, Tiffany this is as strong as it can get. A week after, or whatever it is, 2 weeks, whatever it is after she wins that championship, she wins clean over Bayley, of all people. Now, I just saw the credits. Paul Levesque, McMahon, Hunter Helmsley getting the credit. Just want you to know it's his show. I just saw Hunter's credit pop up with Lee Fitting. So the show looks to be over. Sure enough, 15 seconds before the 11 p.m. hour Eastern time, the show just went off the air. So that's interesting. It's a strong, clean W by Tiffany. Rok-C never got involved. So this shows you that Rok-C's not exactly going over to SmackDown yet, like some reports claimed. They are going to keep this mostly probably NXT. Probably trickle maybe around SmackDown, but she did not have a strong outing tonight. Rok-C just kind of showed up front row, talked a little bit of smack, and that was it. She did not get involved. So this shows you that it looks like they're going to continue this over on NXT on Tuesday nights. We'll see where it goes. Hopefully it's better than what I'm thinking it could very well end up being. But they had an out if they wanted to, man. Rok-C was right there, Roxanne Perez. But wow, what a strong W. This is going to go down as one of the biggest W's previous and going forward for Tiffany, at least till we get to around Mania. No matter what happens from here on out, this will be one of her strongest W's, man. I'm telling you right now. I just hope that at Mania, all of this isn't just to hand that title over to Charlie, because it looks like that's where we're going. It looks like Charlie Flair is winning that Royal Rumble. It's what I got for you guys, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. I had a lot of fun making this. I really did my due diligence for you. I liked doing this in real time. No notes. It was just as the event is going. I'm smashing record, and we're just giving you amplified thoughts, man. It's the real deal, dude. It's no sugar-coated BS. The amplified and the most honest you're going to get. And it was just dished out. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, man. Hopefully we dropped a lot of knowledge in an entertaining way, of course. But hopefully we did it in a way where we can help this product, man. It's a lot that needs to be fixed. I'm not going out of my way and saying this was a good show. There just wasn't enough. But the good news is I'm not saying it's a bad show. Right? Like, I can actually say there were some things that I thought were at least decent to even good. Fatu and Tonga's triple segment? Yes, please. Kevin Owens and Kevin Owens taking out Ray in his hometown. I thought it was the right moment for that. Really piss off the crowd. I like that. Tiffany with a clean W? Are you kidding me? And then there was just a lot of stuff that's off, obviously. The B-Fab, Piper Niven leading to just Meechin again. The tag team division is just in disarray. Pretty Deadly look like idiots out there. Motor City defeats Garza and Humberto to nearly no reaction. Afterwards, backstage, DIY is telling Pretty Deadly they're idiots. So they're going to be facing each other, I think, next week. Johnny Gargano ended up taking out Apollo, of all people. Apollo is somehow in this. Maybe he'll get a tag team partner. Maybe they'll bring back Baron Corbin or something. I don't know. I don't know, man. The tag team division's in disarray. And then you had Naomi and Bianca Belair defeating Nia and Candice. Already forgettable, but good performances. It's just the division, or just seeing the same ladies facing each other. Here we are 3 hours later, and it's like, it's forgotten about. So a lot of things that need to be picked up. So they're having trouble just from top to bottom putting out a good card, right? Putting on a good show. They have moments, baby steps. That's a plus. At least they have moments. There's a lot of shows that they don't even have moments. So at least they had some moments on tonight's show. So it wasn't a total throwaway. That's good. And as we get closer to Mania season, Saturday night's main event next week, and then the Rumble, and then Mania really on as we head toward the Elimination Chamber, I expect business to pick up, right? Hunter will have to go out of his way to get these shows to be bad. Then again, I've said that in the past, and yeah, we know what happened. So I'm going to leave it like that, man. Beggars can't be choosers. We had some moments tonight. We'll take a big moment for Tiffany Stratton. But the Charlie Flair package played right before Tiffany's match. They're telling you exactly what they're doing. Until next time, and there will be that next time. Top guys, we're out. BC in the unit saying check you. 44 dive. That's a wrap. Salute.